What's up, everyone? We're at on location at our sponsor's headquarters, Hoodlum Fight Gear. We have some people with us today. We have Lisa Brock, Dave Brock, and Dave Woodby. We're going to talk about a little bit about what Dave's doing. His fight's a little bit off yet for April 22nd, but he has some time, as you can tell by looking at Dave. He's cut some weight. He's strapped and. April 5th, what did I say?
22nd.
Oh, yeah.
That's because you want him to fight.
Yeah, that's right. I'm looking for the 22nd for another reason. So, yeah. So, but we'll get to that. So, Dave, tell us what's going on, brother.
I just dieted and cut weight. 20 pounds lighter. Still kept my strength and I'm just a lot faster and a lot more deadly.
Nice. Now, Jesse's he's 5-0. They're calling him the Barbarian against the Warrior. What do you think?
I think that he's a young kid and he's, you know what I mean. I don't think he's in my league. I think he's definitely step up in class to fight, and it's good because you know what I mean. Maybe when he wakes up, he'll learn that you know what I mean, that sometimes you shouldn't listen to people. And I think that they're blowing him up. I mean, look at the guys he fought. I mean, every one of them are bums. I seen them all. I've watched every one of the fights. Some of them he should have got away, should have ended it a lot sooner than he did. And then, you know what I mean, one guy hit like 20 times on the fence before they signed it. Let me hit you 20 times, you won't look right.
No, you're not going to get
No, your eyes will be crooked permanently. You know, and the thing is he's a young kid. I got a lot of respect for him because he gets in the cage, and I like him because he reminds me of myself a long time ago. He reminds me of myself a long time ago because he brings a fight, and he has a lot of heart, and I'm not taking out from him because I got a lot of respect for him for that. And like I said, he reminds me of me. But I'm me a lot. I'm me now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just think I think in time he's going to be ready for a guy like me. If he gets some real opponents under his belts, or some more opponents, but I don't think that I don't think he's ready to step up to my level. I think he's stepping up a little premature because of his size and his look, and people want to sell tickets.
Right.
So. Other than that, like I said, I have no love for nobody in the cage afterwards. You know, I'll shake his hand. I like him. Like I said, I like what he brings to the table. But I'm gonna make sure I work at him. This fight's my coming out party.
Okay.
This fight's to show everybody what I'm about.
We've been waiting for you to come back out. We did an interview a while back, but due to some breakups and stuff, we've haven't been able to see you fight. But it looks like you definitely been still going.
I dropped 20 pounds.
We know your trainer's been going at a couple different things, but we'll get to that later. And you guys are both looking good. Now, we talked a little bit earlier, and I'm not going to ask you on camera, but you're going to change up your game a little, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to be something that people aren't going to expect from Dave Brock.
No, everybody's. We already know what formula everybody's going to come at me with. You know, I call it the Bagley formula. Everybody's going to, and you know, I've been kicked by throughout this whole ordeal by a lot of real Muay Thai kickers and this monster, and there's not any. And so we expect them to come out with kicks because there's no way nobody's going to handle hands with me. It'd be suicide.
Right.
Go punch chin. That's what I would love to do. Love for him to come in there and go chin to chin, and then I'll be going home early.
Right.
The thing is, he can't fight my power. I mean, it's my power, and he can't fight my speed, and his hands are mediocre compared to mine. So the only thing I can see him trying to do is some kicks, and we're ready for that.
Right.
You're gonna throw a kick, I'll eat it.
Yeah, because you're definitely, just by looking at you, can tell your conditioning's up. You said your conditioning's up.
It's amazing right now.
Dave, you've been working on a lot more conditioning, endurance, yeah? Looks like you've been pulling out the stops and,
He's a
doing what you had to do.
Dave's a maniac. Dave's a maniac. This guy breeds killers.
That's what it's all about. And, Dave Brock stepping back into the cage, it's going to be a big seller. Albany Hilton Ballroom, I think we're going to be at this time.
Governor's Ball.
So we're going to be it's going to be a little different, different atmosphere. What do you think?
A fight is a fight to me.
Yeah.
I'll fight in the backyard. I mean, I'll fight in the gymnasium. Doesn't matter. Fight in this. I fight down here in the basement. I mean, fighting is fighting to me. I don't care where we fight.
Right.
It doesn't matter. When I get in the cage, I look at it. The crowd don't matter to me. The only thing I see is that guy in front of me.
Right. And we've seen that look from Dave Brock coming into the cage. We're family. Everybody knows that. There's going to be no denying it. And, everybody knows that. They call us unbiased when it comes to you guys. Well, we're family.
You're my family.
Yeah. So, people have to understand that. But even when you step into the cage, you don't even recognize us.
I
really.
zone everybody out.
You really don't.
The only thing on my mind is that guy in front of me.
And that's what Dave Brock is bringing back.
Yes.
He's definitely.
Yes, he's going to get 110 of my tent. There's
Right.
not going to be nothing in there. I don't hear nothing. I don't see nothing but him. I don't smell nothing. I don't breathe nothing but him.
Good.
He's going to breathe my air from the time the bell rings, and I hope he's got a good chin. And that's going to determine how long he lasts.
Right.
I'm going to come at him, throwing bombs from the second. My fight is from the second the bell goes bing to the second it goes bing if he's still standing.
Right. And
He ain't gonna have to worry about finding me. And like I said, them other guys ain't gonna have to worry about jumping me because I only got one gear and that's forwards.
because we know this time you're gonna rely on something a little different, but you're willing to take it to the ground if need be.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Or
yeah.
wherever you gotta go, it seems like
yeah,
it's
it
gonna
doesn't
go. That's
matter. Yeah,
you're
yeah.
just gonna follow the fight.
I
you're
welcome
gonna follow
it,
the
but
war.
yeah.
Keep it going. You know.
Like I said, I lost 20 pounds and my strength is still. I'm repping out 405, you know, on the bench, and I try not to do too much weights because it slows you down. But my speed is tremendous, and I'm still I'm not lifting as heavy all the time. I'm still doing it, so my strength is up, my endurance is up. I mean, I really don't see anything being a factor. And like I said, my chin is granite, and my mind is.
That's the most important part.
My mind is there.
Big Jim Dave, that's the most.
Well, his head is on.
His
My
head's
mind
Head's
is
on,
there.
right?
Yeah.
I got
yeah.
my main ingredient in the corner.
Okay.
So I don't see me losing for a long time.
Good, good. Like I said, not just us, but a lot of the fans, they can't wait to see you step back in. Everybody loves Dave Brock.
I'm gonna give him what to say.
We have our, everybody has their fan club, but we have our haters too, and, we deal with them in different ways, but, talking about Bagley, we kind of brought that up briefly, but I'm gonna divert to Mr. Woodby, and I believe there was something else going on, Dave, with Bagley. Maybe you wanna help us out, or?
Which part?
What are you looking to do, Dave? What's happening? What's going on?
I just want him to fight me.
You just want him to fight you?
Yeah, I'm just,
Now, Dave,
I don't really run around. I don't really walk around talking shit about people. And if I got something to say, I'll say it to you.
Right.
Yeah. No reason for me to.
Tell
I
me
can't
how you
find
feel.
him. You know what I mean? But he went a little too far.
Right.
A little too much, and I don't like it.
No,
You know,
and
I
I
don't like what it is. I don't like him.
get a little upset.
You know,
I see the
I don't
look
like
in your
him.
eye,
I don't like the things that he does. I don't like the person he is. As I said in that post, and I don't really go in like that on a post. I would rather have said it to him.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't need cheerleaders around. Hype up.
Right.
I don't need no hype
Fan
man.
club, yeah.
I don't need all that.
Right.
I'd rather just be. Come on, let's be quiet. Let's go over here in the corner. You know, do what you gotta do, man. But this dude, I don't even know the girl, his girl, whoever. It ain't even my business, really. People should mind their own business. But damn, this shit's on blast on TV,
Right.
so I got no choice.
Sure.
I gotta speak on it. I mean, that just shows, I don't know, part of your character. You choking out chicks.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't
But
respect
you're
you
trying
for
to do
that.
the right thing, and you're a professional fighter,
Yeah.
as we know.
Absolutely.
And you're challenging.
Absolutely, 100%.
I mean, Joe Bagley is.
I've said it-
he's
I said
a
it to
professional
him.
fighter.
What it is, I got tired of listening to everybody telling, him telling everybody else, how he's gonna fuck me up.
Right.
I'm gonna fuck him up. I fought Brock now. Now his trainer's next, or his trainer's got a big mouth. Shut me the fuck up, then, man.
Right.
Stop talking shit. Stop. I don't have much else to say, man.
No, I
Really,
understand
what I mean?
that,
Like, real talk. I don't have no respect for you. None. Not as a trainer, as a fighter, as a man, as a human being. I don't, you know what I mean? You don't go around headbutting 67-year-old men and walk around like you did something. That's an old man, and you know what I'm talking about. That's an old man. You headbutted an old man and knocked him out. Would that make you feel better?
Yeah.
You running around, you got some little reputation. He's the hardest dude in Clifton Park. Really? Clifton Park? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Clifton Park? All right. That's cool. But you're beating up dudes that are drunk, and they're taking a drink out of their bottle, and you chin check them when they're not looking.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sucker punch, and you know what I mean? That's just, I'm not feeling it, dude, man. I would have left it all alone. I wouldn't have said anything at all about it. I wouldn't have spoke about it. Nothing. I would have let him go ahead and rock, man. Everybody seems to think that I'm upset because of the fight between, you know, him and my man. That was that.
Right,
That's that.
water under the bridge.
You know what I mean? That happened, whatever it is, that night is that night.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that was it. You know?
Right.
There was nothing else after. That's what, you know, I feel, you know what I mean, for both of my guys. You know what I'm saying? I feel for him. But other than that, there was no personal animosity towards him.
Right.
Or there was, you know, I didn't feel some type of way about him. You know what I mean? It was just, it happened, you won, I got past all of that. Now, you know what I mean? I just now regroup and get everybody to heal up and, you know what I mean? And go through the trials and tribulations of what goes on after something like that happens, and that's what the focus was.
Right.
And then he just keeps running his mouth.
Yeah.
And I don't say nothing to him. He keeps running his mouth. I got people walking up to me telling me how he's gonna fuck me up, how he's gonna do this, how he's gonna do that. How he's gonna do it. That's all I'm saying. Do it.
But bring it in the cage, you wanna bring it right
That's
in the
it,
cage,
man.
right?
Because I don't want to. You know, honestly, it's.
Yeah, let's do it.
You know, just get in the cage and fight me. That's all you got to do. All that other shit, I seen. Like I said, I seen you in a crisis before, man. You know, I seen it. I watched you. You know, there's many Joe Bagleys. You know what I mean? You ain't nothing special, dude. You know what I mean? You're a clown, for real. You know what I mean? You're a clown, and
it's real.
and don't deserve any of the props and respect that, you know what I mean, your fucking your crew is putting up there. Now mind you, he's got a couple dudes that are in there that are known by, you know what I'm saying, we have mutual friends and they speak on those dudes, you know, like, yo, they're good dudes. But the rest of them dudes, clowns. You know what I mean? They cowards, come up threatening people. They don't do anything. They threatening you.
That's right.
Come threaten me. I put shit on the thing. Threaten me. Come get at me. I'm out all the time. I'm around all the time. Come see me. None of them will come see me. They're not gonna come see me. They won't even comment on the. I'm tired of this dude. I'm tired of listening about him. I'm tired of hearing his name. You know what I mean? You fought pro, bro. Everybody knows. You fight pro. You know you fought pro.
Right.
You know that. There's no like wonder. You know what I'm saying? You know you fought pro.
Exactly.
Especially in Florida.
Yeah.
You know you fought pro.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that wasn't a little tiny organization. That's a reputable organization. And you think for 1 minute that them people are on their job? You know, they're not. They don't have somebody watching somebody who watches somebody to make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, to make sure that no liability falls back on them. That's a business, and they run a tight ship down there. So for him to think that, oh well, I didn't know about it. You knew about it, dude. You knew about it, and you came up here and you tried to, you know, you tried to clown everybody. You know what I mean? All these dudes that are fighting in the amateur ranks, they're trying to get their feet wet, man. They're trying to understand what's going on. They're trying to, you know, let them grow. Let these guys grow. You go in there and you get your bumps, man, and then you learn. Right. And then you grow a little bit more. And with each fight, you grow a little bit more. You learn something. It's the situations that you're in which make you a better fighter. Exactly. You know? And sucker punching somebody ain't a situation that you're in, just so you know. You grow, you get stronger, you learn this, you learn what to do, what not to do. Don't lean heavy this way, don't pull back this way. You know what I mean? Little things that you learn that click in your head that you wouldn't learn from reading a book or watching a video on it. You actually have to have somebody locking in an armbar on you to understand or complete it, to understand what that really feels like when somebody does that to you.
That's right.
If you never did it, you never understand, and you won't fear it. You know what I mean? You won't be concerned about it, and then that's how you get caught up in it. But it's situations, and that's what all these dudes, these young guys that are coming up in the game, young in the game. I'm not saying, you know, young in years wise, just young in the game. You're starting out. They should be afforded the ability to step on that stage and try the things that they've just practiced, that they've worked hard on. You know, try those things, right? Without having to go in there and be thrown in with a 6-0 dude against an 0-3. He's an 0. That's not a management issue. You know what I mean? In the amateur level, that's not a management issue. Right. That's a organization issue. Promotional issue. You know, a promotional issue. Right. That's I'm gonna put people in seats with this because, you know, and that's another thing. You're putting dudes in that's 0-3 against monsters. monsters. You know who I'm talking about, and the dude that I'm talking about knows that I'm talking about him. Dude is a monster, serious monster, and he's putting this 0-3 dude in against him.
Right.
Let this kid get his, you know what I mean? How is he going to learn anything?
Right.
And you're doing that. You're putting the sacrificial lamb out there for your pocket, because you're getting whatever you're getting, and I'll just put this together and throw it in there. That's not the game. And then when I read all of these things that people put on, these posts that they put on afterwards, talking about, well, you know, you can't talk about this person and what they're doing is a good job, and no, it's not a good job, and you fucking know it ain't a good job. You know what you're doing. I know what you're doing, and I don't like it. You know, it's wrong. And when I sat down and I spoke with the guys from Cage Wars, and we spoke about, you know, being involved and getting, my whole thing was, without you there, I'm still good. I'm still do whatever it was that I was doing prior to you. So me joining on with you is not, you know what I mean, to a monetary benefit for me. It's not to you know, any other benefit out of it. It's not gonna, you know, it's nothing to it. My whole thing was, I'll jump in with you, but there you're gonna do this. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're gonna be square about this.
Exactly.
You know, match these fights up and make fights. Let that fight. Let both of those fighters walk away from that fight learning something.
Exactly.
That's what the amateurs are about.
Right.
That's what you're supposed to be doing. You build these guys up, they get their experience, and when they feel that their experience level has reached, you know, its peak at this level, you know, they're
It's
more
maturity.
confident. You were able, the small things. You've been in a crowd, in front of a crowd.
Right.
People know how many people prior to that walk around and you just get in fights in front of crowds.
Right.
It don't happen.
No,
You know what I
not
mean?
at all.
It'll break out in a club or it'll break out at an event, but it's not you walking
Yeah.
down there knowing what you're going to do.
Right.
You follow me?
Yeah.
So that's something that they got to get over, because that's a huge thing. You know, people that's what stage fright comes
Right.
from. You know, and some of these guys get put in there against, you know, you put sharks in with minnows, and when that minnow gets in there, it's nervous.
Sure.
It doesn't know, you know what I mean? And now it's not only worried about you, but it's worried about the crowd that's around them that they've never seen before. They're in the center of these lights. They don't, you know, there's so many different variables that you need to go through and learn and experience so that you can go to that next level, so that your growth and development into this game is positive. That's what needs to happen. Now, when you get these organizations that are putting fights together with a 6-0 monster against a 0-3 guy who hasn't had a chance, what are you going to get? He's going to come in. He's going to, you know, take advantage.
Yeah.
Not saying taking anything from that 0-3 guy.
Right.
He's a warrior. In my book, you climbed in that cage, dude. That's it. You
Yeah.
won already. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, but when you pit him against someone with superior, you know, far superior talent,
Right.
it's not fair.
No.
You know what I mean? It's shooting fish in a barrel. Growth and development. He should be ashamed of himself for throwing his man in there. That's supposed to be, that's your trainer, regardless of anything. If you're yourself a fucked up individual, then you're a fucked up individual, and it is what it is.
Exactly.
You know. But if you have people that are under you, that are looking up to you, you know, looking to you, and they're in a positive atmosphere, and they're looking up to you in that positive atmosphere, you should guide them positively.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Give them the good and keep your shit for, you know what I mean, when you're in the bars and you need to sucker punch somebody to look cool in front of the fat chick in the corner. You know what I'm saying? That's what you save that for.
Right.
So with regards to that, I think that there's a lot of corrections that need to be made. And I hear people commenting that, oh, we're supposed to be sticking together on this. Yes, we're supposed to be sticking together in a positive way, moving forward and upwardly bound, not pushing this under the ground for...
You know, it's just to back up a little with the
Bagley?
Florida license.
Oh.
No, the Florida license, and you know, we had worked on it. It was kind of a mute issue. We got called out and we're like, you know, we're really going to pursue this, and we did. A lot of hard. Florida was a pain. They really were, but we finally got the verification. We have it all. Shannon Miller has it. After we received it, you know, he had it as well. It was a lot of footwork, but you know, it came out. You know, and people are saying that, you know, there has to be a contract signed in Florida. That's totally wrong. If they look at Florida law, I could give you a $50 pair of gloves. If it costs $52, excuse me, you just accepted a professional fight after you got your license. No amateur had to be licensed at that time. None. There was no license for amateurs verified by the
Are
Florida
they
State
doing it
Boxing.
now? They're licensing amateurs?
Negative.
I never heard of an amateur being licensed.
They have never
Ever.
done it.
Anything.
I guess there was a rumor that for a little bit when Florida was behind the 8 ball that it possibly one of the fights might have fell into there. Per the Florida Boxing Commission, that never happened.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of different variables, but we have it. You know, we pursued it. You know, and not just because of Dave, but there was other fighters that lost
The big
as well.
picture.
Exactly, for the benefit of MMA, and we had to bring this out. You know. Because let's face it, we don't need no more black guys in this sport.
No.
We really don't. You know, we have to move forward. But I would really like to ask Joe Bagley, as I sit here, why he will not accept Dave Woodby's challenge. Dave has a professional record. You have a professional record. I know there's many people that could set it up for you. Would really like to see that happen. I'd really like to see that challenge. I'd like at least an answer, you know, I mean, I know they know I don't deserve an answer. We've spoke before on what's been happening with us. Once again, we really don't care, you know, we know who our family is, you know, we know who our back is, but you know, here we sit.
It's deeper than they think.
That's right, you know, they don't understand, they just don't understand.
No idea.
Just don't get it, but Dave, you look like you're getting a little upset, you okay? You ready?
I'm good.
You ready, huh?
This has been an upsetting thing for all of us.
Sure.
Man. It's been, you know, it's just, it would have been acceptable, and it would have been easier to move past, you know, because there's different, you know, different pieces to that puzzle that you got to get past and throw it back into the box. You know, all right, I'm past this. You know, put all that shit away now. You know, and then finally you put the whole box away and you're done and you move forward.
Right.
But it's difficult to do that when these pieces, you know, you can't seem to put them away.
Right.
You know, and it's pieces like Bagley being a pro. Regardless of what, you know, what. Listen, if King Kong came to him today and said, "I'm gonna fuck him up," well, you think he would fight me to go outside the door?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just to go out there, just because he called him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
So
we know
it doesn't.
Dave Brock.
This is. There's bigger things involved with this
Right.
that we need to close up.
Right.
And I don't mean to keep bringing it back. This I won't. You know what I mean? I'll say this and I'll leave it alone. I'll probably say it as fast as I can, and then I'll leave it alone because I have a lot of words. But that dude needs to get in the cage. It's been a sport thing. 'Cause people talk shit. That's part of the game, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's part of it. It's all part of the game, man.
Right.
If you judge somebody on you know, if you judge somebody on them talking shit, then all you're doing is hating.
Right.
Everybody hates Floyd Mayweather.
Exactly. Right.
You know, Floyd Mayweather, he is like one of the kings of shit talkers. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's part of the game. You got to feel confident about, you know what I mean, your skills. He's not talking shit. He's real talk. Look, I'm confident about my shit, and that's it. And he should feel like that. What the fuck is he supposed to feel like? Oh, I don't know. You know, no, humming and hawing, and that, you know, that's not him. That's not what he's gonna do. You know, he's ready. He'll fight him right now, right this second. We can walk out of here, drive down to the Hilton or what Holiday Inn or whatever the fuck that building is, and we'll fight him. And he'll do it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Plus, all the other variables, the little pieces
Yeah.
that were, you know, that were spinning around them, you know, and we're not making up excuses. We're not doing any of that,
Right.
you know. But what happens is what happens. You know what I mean? And things in life, you know, affect everything.
Right.
You know.
Sure.
And it's not about what you do when you're, you know what I mean, when you're before you got knocked down. That don't matter. It's what you do when, if you get back up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Get the fuck back up.
Right.
You know, regardless, and leave all that shit right where it was, and you fucking grab your fucking torch, and you grab your flag, and you keep fucking moving forward.
Right.
Period. That's it. And that's exactly what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
You know, period. That's it. And he'll show up, but he'll show up with some dude and these novices.
Right.
You know, and you're still pro, and you're still out there, and you're still bragging like you're, you know, doing your little John head knocking, and you know, like you're some, just get in the cage with me, man. Stop fronting. You know what I mean? Put your work in. We got enough time right now. Put your work in. Get rid of the bloat or whatever it is that, you know what I mean, you got up with you. Get yourself stretched back out. You know what I mean? And whatever it is you're doing, stop doing whatever it is you're doing. Climb up out of that hole and let's get in the cage so that we can handle this how we're supposed to handle this. Period. That's it. We got a spot. April, May, 22nd, 24th. It really don't matter. I'll fight you on both days. It don't matter. I'll fight you 2 days before that if you want. It don't really matter. You know what I mean? We can do it all night long if you want. It don't matter. I'm just saying, you got to do this because you talked entirely too much shit. And I didn't say nothing to you. I didn't disrespect. I felt a certain way about you. I didn't like the fact that you were a pro and you knew you were a pro and you were trying to front like you weren't a pro and trying to get everybody else gassed up. But now I look at, every time I watch the fights, I see a pro standing in there about to fight an amateur, acting like he's hard. Everybody's a gangster till the real gangsters show up.
There it is.
Get in the cage, man. Stop fronting. Get out of your hole. Contact somebody. But do what you got to do. Get this out there and let's get it on. That's it, man, because this is what you wanted. It's not what I wanted. It's what you wanted. This is the shit you begged for. You know, you begged for an ass whooping. You begged and kept, you know, disrespecting me, and I kept quiet. Kept talking shit about me. I kept quiet. Kept doing all these crazy things and looking in cameras and making funny faces and all this other shit and telling people on job sites. Do you think you don't get back to me? This is a small community construction. You know, everybody's coming up to me. Oh, well, he said he's going to fuck you up. He said he's going to fuck you up. Fuck me up, please. I'm tired of talking about it. Let's just do it. Summertime, it's nice out. You know what I mean? You probably, you know, you have your nice slacks on or something with your, you know, your Hawaiian shirt and your chicken bones on your necklace or whatever that was. I don't even really know what it was. But you'll have all that fancy shit on, man, and then you get fucked up and get your shirt ripped and your trousers torn. It just gets crazy. It just gets crazy. Let's just do it in a cage. You know what I mean? If you show up there, we do what we gotta do.
Those are good crowd
That's
too. You know?
And it'll be a great crowd. Then you know what I mean? We go up there, we make some money. You know what I mean? I don't care. I don't really care really about that part of it, the money. And they said something about a belt. I got belts. I got this one right here.
That's a nice
I got a tool belt. I don't really give a shit about the belts. I really don't. I just put hands on you. That's it. You talked entirely too much shit to somebody who never said nothing to you. Never said nothing to you until you started running your fucking mouth. So, you know, we got a shirt that says that. Don't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Toilet shirt, right?
Yeah, I
I think
think
it
so.
says something like that.
Don't let your tongue get your teeth knocked out.
That's right.
Ain't that a bitch?
Yep.
I got one of them for you. I got one of them for you too. I'll bring it to the fight. You just, you could show up. I'll bring it to the fight. Yeah,
Just show up.
bring it to the fight. If you can eat after that, you know, get a good mouth guard. Get a good mouth guard. We go from there. After that, that's it. I don't really got nothing else to say. Fight me, or I'll catch you when I see you. So it's on you. Your ball. You know, now, you know, that's it. Now it's my man. It's the issue. He's down in weight, and the biggest part, he could be as round as a ball. The biggest part is his head's on.
Right.
His head's screwed on, and Brock with his head screwed on is dangerous.
I agree.
Period.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't. And everybody that's out there, everybody who hits him up on Facebook, everybody who sees him in stores or at gas stations, they all know. They all know. It don't matter if his head's on.
It's over.
It's gonna be a bad night. His head's on,
Right.
tight. You know,
Yeah.
he's got his anchor. You know,
Exactly.
he's got his anchor.
Yeah.
And now he's ready. You know, not that he wasn't ready before,
Right.
but now it's a different ready. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? He was
Yeah.
ready the other 3 times, the other 450 times. You know,
Right.
wherever it was, in a field, behind a barn, in a doorway, wherever it was, he was ready then too.
Right.
And he's seriously ready now. And his skill level is different than what everybody who's out there, his supporters, his fans, know about.
Right.
His skill level is a little
I mean,
different.
we could
than
look
that.
at all the tape we
And it
want
will
about
be,
Dave
yeah, watch them.
You're not
Please
gonna-
watch them tapes. Watch them tapes, watch them tapes, watch them tapes. It's irrelevant.
That's what
It
I'm
really
saying.
is irrelevant
It's not here or
because
there.
what's coming in there, what's going in there,
Yeah, but it's-
that's
Yeah,
that Bagley formula. Work it,
Right.
work it, girl. Do it all you can do with it.
right. And,
But it's a different story right
yeah.
now. You know what I mean? He's on, and
Yeah, he's
Let's-
definitely a
let's see
beast.
how this works.
You know, we've known
Hey, you got a
Dave for some
Superman
time.
shirt on.
Yeah, Superman at that. But we've seen Dave, you know, at his biggest. I mean, you look great. Lost some weight. I mean, you're tight. Here's your anchor right here, Lisa. It's good to see, you know, everything back together.
Feel the power of a warrior. Fight, 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 fight. Let's do